As a part of my society portfolio, I wanted to engage Cartier as a brand account, and I saw them creating a Clear Diamonds tennis bracelet series with me and for a select group of women. For myself, in terms of what was an aspirational object of affection that I could see in this time in my life, I wanted to create a point .7 carry cut Clear Diamonds tennis bracelet for myself. Why I chose the carry cut is because it felt super elegant. It was really minimalistic with what type of techniques they used in order for the stone to refract light. And with that, it just felt super, super elegant, just something really beautiful. And I loved how transparent it was in about seeing what type of person would like to represent themselves with something so honest. The next one that I saw was a step cut Hallways Clear Diamonds tennis bracelet. And this one features an alternate of two types of sizes against a really exquisite form of bracelet. I personally would like to see the larger stones as a 1.5 carat emerald cut, with the smaller stones being a 1 carat baguette cut. So in this, you see that my pattern is choosing step cuts, and like I said, that was just coming from an innocent place of feeling like in the realm of creating stoneworks and gemology. The step cuts felt like, again, the most sensible form of showing yourself as honest. The second object of affection is my Cartier Clear Diamonds triptych ring. My triptych ring features a 3-point stone setting consisting of 3 carry cut clear diamonds on rose gold. The triptych ring is actually inspired by Instagram too, because the carry cut is a square, and it goes along with the narrative of how I met Anna and how I met Hedda and Fave to go along with this entire summer of my life. The next object of desire that we see is the Cartier Scions Pain Ring. The Scions Pain Ring series of mine would be seen in different colored diamonds, so I saw this done as a Gatsby green-blue diamond, a pink-violet diamond, or a light blue diamond. The reason why I chose this as the ring design is because it came out of personal preference, and so I saw it as a 3 carat carry cut stone in the middle with 2 supporting sides of 2 carat step cut baguette trapezoids. So when it is done in a layout like this, it looks like it's forming an even across of wash of color against your finger, and this was just something that I came up with as a part of an aspirational portfolio in society, high society. I wanted to create 2 types of dress strap watches with Cartier. So the first dress strap watch is the Vogue Vanille Flying Tourbillon Roadster. And so the men's version comes in a 41mm Roadster, and the women's version comes in a 37 to 39mm Roadster. These would be done in rose gold, and they would be finished with a beige lacquer to the dial. I saw this with Roman numerics and a Cartier label only. For the men's version only, I wanted to see this done with a flying tourbillon, and I did see this having opportunities with a Condé Nast make label if Cartier was willing to approve of this being a collaborative product with the network. Why I chose to redesign this watch is because the black shiny croc strap felt really severe against the beige lacquer, and with a combination of rose gold, it felt like the most beautiful version of an aspirational object of affection that I saw. So the men's version again would be a flying tourbillon, and that is a novelty that is not common in Cartier watches, so if they would approve of us manufacturing one of their first flying tourbillon watches as a revisit to their now discontinued Roadster watch, that would be amazing. I loved the Roadster watch. I don't know, it just had a beautiful shape to it, and this is something that I super appreciate about my portfolio. This is one of the more important pieces to my portfolio, I would say. The Scions Evening Skeletal Santos would be done in at least a men's 40mm Santos. I wanted this done in white gold. I cited this metal treatment as what I wanted to go on the watch, and so wherever you see the skeletal detail done, I wanted all this silverness done in a cyan blue. I wanted this to be featuring black hands, and I wanted it to have black rotor eyes. Then I wanted the watch to be completely done in baguette cut purple sapphires. And why I chose this is because, again, it's going to come with a black shiny croc strap, so the dress strap is really severe. And for the nighttime, the mixes of purple, blue, and black felt like the night sky. And yeah, it just reminded me of partying. It reminded me of the Roaring Twenties. And this was also a very special thing for me to want to explore with Cartier if they would allow this to be approved because, yeah, it just means a lot to me. It reads as very identifiable as a part of like who I am as a person, whereas the AM version is more something that is a part of me that needed a little bit more maturation with how my creative perspective was brought to create something like that. This is something that in a penultimate point of like luxury, this is really important to think about as identifying as a part of my most relevant self through and through from childhood. This is an outline that I saw in an opportunity with Rolex. And with Rolex, I wanted to create Condé Nast Day Date re-editions. The Rolex Condé Nast Day Date would feature Condé Nast font inscribed into the dial, and I wanted this done with a blank black onyx dial. I also saw this with baguette cut bezel. We right now see 3 different sizes of watch in 2 different styles, so both of them feature this same octopus spinal design, and I saw this in a vintage 36mm size, a vintage 40mm size, and we have a doily here of a new Rolex design that features it in a 40mm. In terms of the type of stones that I saw, I personally wanted this in a blue sapphire and a green. So those were the 2 different colors that I saw for my personal collection. As you see again, the dial setting, I wanted it in a blank black onyx dial, and I did see it with a baguette cut bezel. If there were people that these were going to be made to order, I think that a mother of pearl dial was something that I saw Anna wanting, so that might be a possibility for certain people. I wanted to open up the options of it being in champagne gold or rose gold, and I wanted 3 types of language discs to go along as the days of the week as a part of this day date series. I wanted this done either in Spanish, Swedish, or I wanted them to develop a Persian dial because Farsi is different to Arabic, so I wanted them to create a Farsi driven dial, and those were the 3 languages that I saw in this opportunity again with Rolex. I also developed a series with Chrome Hearts to see if they could create high jewelry with us, and I had 2 different colorways that I pitched for Chrome Hearts. So we have the Bloodlines colorway and we have the Venom colorway. Right now what we're exhibiting is a Vogue ring, so this is the one ring that I said was the World Series type of ring, and it features a large emerald cut stone in the middle with an ascension staircase of 2 pairings of a 2 carat and a 1 carat step cut stone to go along the sides. These were the examples of women that I wanted to pitch to Chrome Hearts for in consideration for this series to be picked up. And yeah, I just thought that this was a really beautiful ring, and I'm really proud of the colorways that I created out of sapphires and rubies. I also wanted to develop this series into a collection of sapphire and ruby tennis bracelets. So we have 1 carat heart-shaped gemstones that would be alternating in orient so that they would form a uniform line across the wrist. And again, the Bloodline series and the Venom series are just a mix of rubies and sapphires. The Bloodline series features rubies and 2 types of purple sapphires, while the Venom series features a variant of purple and pink sapphires. Asks that I had between Anna and I, this was one of the most beautiful examples of ideas that I had that I wanted to share between her and I. This was an heirloom piece for me, and this is my Chrome Hearts portrait cut ring. And it was based off of this doily that I found on a gemology account on Instagram, and it's an organic shaped portrait cut diamond. I don't think that they're common practice in the fine jewelry industry, but it was just something so simple and easy, and again goes in line with my whole ethos with step cut diamonds. And I don't know, it just made me feel really happy. It was shard-like and it had an uneven faceted top surface, so as you see here, there are hardly any fractions that allow the diamond to refract light. And I wanted this to be well girdled over widespread, so I didn't want it to be a thin pane, I wanted it to be like a pebble. And I saw this as a 3 to 4 carat cut diamond. I also wanted to inscribe the band with honor and devotion, and this was an idea again that like I was just dreaming about. The stone setting and the metal setting would allow the ring to be seen underneath the stone, so I thought it was a pretty unique piece. I then went ahead and developed the Bloodlines and Venom series into a collection of necklaces. So in the Bloodline series, I agree with the coloring and how this certain type of blue-green diamond that I saw goes along with red and purple. But in the Venom series, it looks like a garden that you're laying across your neck. So I wanted this to be done in non-graduating 4-carat heart-shaped cuts that alternate in orient so it has a more uniform look on the neck. And I wanted to see this with windows of 6-carat French cut blue-green diamonds alternating after each set of 3 colors. In the other video, I talked about how this would be seen with a garter and you're out the door. So what I meant by that was I wanted each necklace to go along with an accompanying large dagger anklet. So the dagger would feature a hidden set AMOLED molded 3-carat carry cut diamond in the middle, so that you wear the necklace, you wear the anklet, and you show up to an event. So I was thinking that the carry cut would replace the chrome hearts in scripture here, and so they would have to develop a dagger that would be able to hold a hidden set carry cut diamond, and this was the example of an anklet that I saw going along with the necklace. So it would be more like this, more than that, and featuring, again, elongated French cut diamonds after a set of 3 colors. We're closing out the Chrome Heart series with a collection of watches. So the first watch that I found to be an iconoclast part of my jewelry portfolio is the Condé Nast Casino Royale Royal Oak. New sample of a flat black onyx dial was something that I wanted to be a part of the basis of my collection, and I wanted this in consideration for Condé Nast font inscribed to the dial. Wherever you see diamonds, I wanted this to be rebezeled and marked with rubies. Then for the handles, I wanted this to be done in dagger handles with ruby pave, a tiny cross bracelet chain with heart, dagger, and ruby pave closure. I also saw this in a women's version and just changing the dagger handles to star handles so it would fit more properly on a women's wrist. And I also saw this being developed in the same black onyx dial with periwinkle sapphires as a part of the Venom series, and this is called the Condé Nast Venom Royal Oak. The Vogue Keefe Daytona is a very homebound piece for me because I personally have an aunt in my life on my mom's side of the family that carries a day date in a mother of pearl dial. So in this opportunity, I wanted to create a Vogue Daytona, so the larger of the silhouettes that they have at Rolex, and I wanted this done in a hammered mother of pearl dial. Why I chose a hammered version of the mother of pearl dial is because one of my grandma's favorite Hermes belt editions is the one where they hammered the front of the buckle, and so I wanted that to be the basis of my most sentimental piece with chrome hearts, and this is the Vogue Keefe Daytona. I wanted this to be in a 43mm rose gold Rolex Daytona, and I wanted to see if this one could be exacted with Vogue font inscribed in the dial. When it came to seeing the difference between what was going to be a Vogue centric piece and what was a Condé Nast centric piece in terms of the inscripture, I don't really have the right answer for you now, but all I know is I did take a tacted consideration for if I wanted this to be network centric or publication centric. I wanted this to be finished with Star of David handles and diamond pave closure with a tiny cross bracelet chain and large heart dagger with diamond pave closure. Then we also see this version done in a champagne gold variant. The last watch silhouette that we see is the Cartier Roadster. So if this does get approved to be produced at Cartier as a Vogue Vanille and a tourbillon watch, I wanted them to see if they would also allow this watch face to be licensed out as a Vogue Garden Skeletal Roadster. So this would be a skeletal design to the Roadster, which they have not done even in discontinued collections in the past. And I saw this as either a 38mm or 42mm rose gold skeletal Roadster. I wanted this bezeled in Gatsby green sapphires, star handles with full baguette pave, and a new double tour pave bracelet chain. So I wanted this to read on the wrist like a double tour bracelet, and so developing a chain that would work for this piece to be seen as a cuff more than a timepiece was something that I wanted. So you see this here, this watch has like a really great wraparound and it has a lot of weight to the hand. This was what I saw the Roadster being, more like a very large jewelry piece, similar to the Justine bracelet, but just a timepiece at the same time. Then I also saw this Vogue Chandelier Skeletal Roadster, which is basically the same idea finished in diamonds. So a diamond skeletal Roadster is the last piece to the Chrome Hearts watch series of mine. Alongside this portfolio that I have comprised and developed, I wanted to take to 4 select retailers in order to partner with us in my inauguration with Vogue. So Moda Operandi is the first retailer that I wanted to work with, and I wanted to create a Vogue leather goods trunk show with them as a part of my inauguration. I wanted to hold an event in Manhattan, as well as one city-specific part of the trunk show where I wanted these products to only be made available to people in the Bay Area, while the rest of her portfolio that she's given in this product selection are going towards people in her closed community that are currently Moda Operandi customers. The second retailer that I wanted to work with was Maxfield Los Angeles, and I had a very different thematic product selection for them. I chose them for the namesake return you would get on being able to say that you acquired a product through their boutique. And this was another important retailer to me as a part of me identifying with a subgenre in fashion. I like the edgy look that they have, and I think that they have a really great community to be able to concierge our products to, and I'm sure that they would make a great addition to this world tour that I have. The next retailer that we have is Bergdorf Goodman, and I wanted them to take hold of a fashion retrospective and a almost old classics look on the pieces that I have. So they would have multiple parts of their store being activated in terms of visual merchandising, as well as a function of a party that I wanted them to have to celebrate this new chapter in Vogue's history. The last retailer that we see is Hirschleifers, and that is something based in Long Island, so they would be carrying also another selection of products in our portfolio, as well as some other filling pieces having to do with an informant history of my fashion's past. Hirschleifers, Bergdorf Goodman, Maxfield Los Angeles, and Moda Operandi. These were the 4 retailers that I had a distribution plan for in terms of what I wanted to do with the pieces in my portfolio.